welcome to Storybook Scrapbooking with Brittany and Nicole. For today, that was the sketch, and the prompt for Scraptember was monochromatic. So I decided to go with a pink monochromatic theme, partly because I liked to pull the colors from Rhiannon's costume from her dance recital. There was like a really fun kind of hot bright pink in it, and I also was trying to use up my Chamel stash. So besides the doilies and the enamel dots that I use at the very end, everything that you see is from a Chamel collection. And one thing that I do like about doing monochromatic layouts is I find they do really help me kind of quote unquote bash my stash, because I just go through everything and I look for everything in those color tones. Now you can see there's some white, there's some yellow, there's a couple, like there's some green, there's a couple little other small bits of color coming in, but as long as the overwhelming majority of the sticker, the embellishment, the ephemera piece is in the monochromatic colors that I'm looking for, it works and it can go on the page. One of the great things about this too is right now I am just using Chamel, so in general, a lot of her stuff kind of coordinates across her collections. But when you're also sticking to the same color, somehow it just all looks like it, in my opinion, most of the time, it just kind of naturally goes together. So it takes out a lot of that guesswork of, oh, does this match? Does this coordinate? Does this work? So I always love a fun monochromatic challenge. Now, another thing I like about these is when I create embellishment clusters, I always kind of have like these rules of thumb where I always like to have the same colors in every cluster. So if, let's say I had blue in one cluster, I'd want to pop a blue in each cluster. If I had pink, I'd want to pop a pink in each cluster. Well, when you're doing monochromatic layouts, you don't really have to work with that. It's kind of just like the color concept isn't really there when I'm building my embellishments, so clusters. So instead, I'm going, oh, this cluster has flowers, so I'd like it if the other cluster could have flowers. This cluster has heart motifs, so I'd like the other cluster to have heart motifs. This cluster has a camera motif, so I'd like to include some camera motifs in there. So that's kind of how I'm placing my embellishments right now, especially the two major clusters, which is one is the top right of my layout on top of the photo, and then the other one is to the left of the photo. Those are my two major embellishment clusters. Then there's my title, and so I create a tiny cluster around my title and journaling. And then because I'm following the sketch, at the very tippy top, I sort of have a subtitle and I add a couple little bits and pieces, but it's not really a per se like main embellishment cluster. So I really have two main embellishment clusters, and they both have flowers, cameras, and heart motifs. My title is Rise and Shine because I really felt like Rhiannon rose to this occasion. She totally embraced it. She was a smidge nervous at the beginning, but she just rose to the occasion and she shined so bright on that stage. And afterwards, I just feel like her smile radiates. And so we were really proud of her. And so that's why I chose the title Rise and Shine. And then I added a word phrase that says the best under my title, because this was truly one of the best times. I had so much fun celebrating with the girls and watching Rhiannon dance. And then at the very tippy top of the cluster, I put a word phrase that says beautiful. And so right now I'm going through one of my 4x6 iris containers, seeing if there's any other pink embellishment pieces, ephemera stickers that I want to add to the layout. And I inked the edge to some of them, but I didn't ink the edge to everything. I'm kind of like non-committal when it comes to inking edges. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So here again, you can see I'm going through another one of my 4x6 iris bin containers, just seeing if there's anything else. And then I am finishing off with some enamel dots. I used my T-square ruler at the bottom to draw some lines and add some journaling. And then I wanted to put some enamel dots around the journaling just to kind of have it tie into the page. Thank you guys so much for watching. There's some close-ups coming up, and be sure to use the links in the description box below to check out everybody else's take on the sketch for the 30 Days of Sketch series, or on the Scraptember prompt, or for those who are doing double challenges, are doing the sketch and the prompt together like me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.